In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a pinch pot. First, you'll want to wedge your clay. I added a little water to my wedging board because the clay is a little dry. My wedging board is made out of wood with canvas stapled to it. Now that your clay is wedged, I've rolled it into a ball. Press your thumb directly into the clay. Pinch the clay to define the walls. I slam the clay onto the wedging board to establish a foot. Here, I'm moving some of the clay from the base to the walls. It's very important to compress the base of the pot by pushing the clay on the base downwards. If you forget this step, your pot will most likely create what's called an S-crack when it dries or when it's fired. Let's further define the walls by pinching from the base towards the rim. Continue doing this all the way around your pot until it's at desired height or thickness. When I do this, it's typical to see the walls splay outward, but that's okay because we can fix that. Here, I'm making the base a little wider and compressing it again. Now I'm going to push the walls of the pot into a more upright position. I'm also pushing the clay towards itself to compact the walls. You can see working with the walls has really brought them more upright from that kind of bowl shape that we had earlier. The wall height is pretty uneven, so I'm going to pinch the clay where it's thicker to raise the wall. Now I'm just going to go around and thin the walls just a bit more. I want this pot to curl inwards, so I'm pushing the rim towards itself again. Patting the rim down with your hand will help it curl inwards. Here I'm just pinching a few spots to thin the clay. We're basically done here, and the next step is to wait until it's leather hard. With the size and thickness of the walls that we have, this should take about 2 hours for it to dry. You can cover it in plastic and come back to it later if you'd like. Our pot is now ready to be trimmed. I'm going to start by defining the foot with a loop tool. Like most aspects of trimming, this is optional. The rim is very uneven, so I'm going to cut it with a fettling knife. A fettling knife is for ceramics and it won't cut you. Our punch pot is pretty bulky, so I want to trim clay off of it. Because I like the uneven pinch pot look, I'm going to remove the clay from the inside with a rounded loop tool. It's important to round the edges of the rim. If kept sharp and glazed, the glaze may run away from it and leave the rim bare. Another thing we'll want to do is carve out the foot. If you don't do this at all, the clay will bump out when fired and make it wobbly. I don't plan on adding glaze here, but if you do, make sure to make it deeper. You wouldn't want the glaze to drip down onto the kiln shelf when fired. Now I'm going to use my rib tool to smooth the sides of the pot. If you have any large cracks, you can fill them with clay and then smooth it out. To fill smaller cracks and smooth the walls, I'm going to apply water and a bit of pressure while rubbing the pot. Be sure to rub water all over the pot to keep all the clay at the same moisture level. If some areas dry faster than others, this can lead to it cracking. Lastly, I'm going to stamp my pot with my logo. If you're firing in a studio kiln with other people, it's important to mark your pot to differentiate it from others. All that's left is to let the pot sit upside down until it's bone dry. This can take a week or so depending on the size. You want to be 100% sure it's bone dry before putting it into a bisque fryer, or else you'll run the risk of exploding the kiln. After you've bisque fired your piece, it's ready to be decorated with underglaze or glaze. Then you'll glaze fire it, and then your piece will be done. I hope this helps anyone that is getting started with pottery. I'll definitely be making more videos If you have any video ideas, leave them in the comments below and I'll check them out. Before you go, be sure to subscribe so you know when I post more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!